Hi guys, welcome back to the Blading Physio YouTube channel. These are the Undersoul Limbo frames, and I am one of the few who has the honor to test these babies out. Let's get into it. Undersoul is a little skate company who produces frame walls for the 50/50 core system. If you haven't heard about it, it's basically a frame with a core on which you can put different frame walls on. So this lets you change frames easily and you can experiment with a lot of different options as they can be printed or 3D printed. So because of that, people have been designing crazy stuff for this core system, and Ryan, aka Undersoul, is one of them. Ryan had the idea to create a frame that would help you train with your grinds. As you can see, these frames have bumps on the sides which make the sole plate narrower, so it's harder to lock on a ledge or a rail, and this should make you more aware of skating. Ryan compares it often with a kendama. I'm not sure if you know what a kendama is, but it's basically kind of a little stick with a ball on it, and you have to like throw it and be precise to land the ball on the stick. It's a kind of agility slash focus training tool. A lot of skaters have it. I don't know, it's pretty popular in skating. So Ryan had the same idea with these limbo frames. Because of the bumps on the frame, your sole plate gets narrower, and because of that you'll have to be more precise in your skating. You'll have to focus more on how you land your tricks. So the idea is indeed to have a harder time or to train while having these frame walls on. And when you switch back to normal frames or frames without those bumps, it should be easier and you should lock easier on your grinds. Or at least that's the theory. So Ryan sent me a pair to test his theory out, and that's why I'm doing this first impression video. A full review will follow later. I've had one session on these frames and I really had a good time. Not sure because of the frames or just because I was really into that zone of skating, but really had a good time, although the park was a bit wet. And at the start I was kind of afraid for the bumps, as my M12s are a narrow skate. I didn't really know if I would be able to land one trick, so I was kind of afraid not having a good time. So when I started out, I kind of started with stalling a bit and just feel how much space I would have to land. And once I felt like it's kind of enough to land tricks, I started with my basic tricks, which I own the most is a sole grind. So I kicked the session off with that. So as you could see in the edit, I quickly learned that I didn't really have to fear the bumps and that I could easily lock my sole tricks. I have to say, except for the little fear in the beginning, I didn't really notice or think about those bumps at all. I had kind of the same feeling like I skated balance frames from 50/50. Those also have these little bumps or these wall protectors, I guess, on the frames, and I kind of feel like it was the same. Maybe they were a little bit wider, but haven't felt any big difference or haven't felt really unstable because of it. And I'm even sure that these bumps kind of gave me more speed while sliding, or it's the plastic in which these frames were printed in, because it was so smooth. So the idea is that this is a training frame, so you can improve and have a better result on normal frames. To me at this moment, I haven't found it more difficult to skate it on ledges. I really had a good time, and although the park was wet, I was able to do my thing and land my tricks like usual. I did notice a difference when I skated on the rail. I had harder time to lock on, but also I am not the best one to skate that rail. It's a bit curved also, so I'm not the best one on skating on that rail, but I do notice a difference. When I skated without these bumps, I was able to lock easier on the rail than with the bumps. And I also noticed a difference when I wanted to spin out of my tricks. Because of the lesser area you can press on or you can support on, it was harder to land my spins after or out of tricks. So those are the first things I noticed from this frame. For the training aspect of the frame, it's really doing its thing. I kind of made progress on the rail after a while, so I learned that I had lesser place on my sole plate, but I'll have to experiment more with these frames. So the conclusion of this first impression video, it's not a long video, but what I can say is that the plastic is very nice. I really had fast slides. I had the feeling that I was sliding with ease. Also, the H-block is more shallow than the prime frames, so that helped me with skating flat. I skate 60mm flat, and I have to say the first time on the prime frames was a while that I skated flat, and I really had difficulty to get back into it. And for one or other reason, I think it's the H-block, this session was way much better. I had less reel bite, I slid easier. So yeah, that's the first thing I noticed. The bumps to me at this moment didn't limit my skating except on the rail a bit, but I'll have to experiment more, for example with topsides, to see what these frames really are capable of and how much they limit you or how much you have a training aspect in it. Topsides are a bit of my weak point, so I didn't really try those out yet. I just was having a good time at the skate park, although it was wet and although I had new frames on my feet. I was just having a good time and I was happy to have a good time. So I kind of enjoyed it and just went with the things I really wanted to do. So I hope this first impression video helps you with knowing what Undersoul is. If you're curious about the frames, be sure to check them out on their website or on Instagram. I'll leave a link down below in the description. Stay tuned for the full review in a few weeks. Like, subscribe. If you haven't, do it now. See you in another video, guys. Thanks.